All right, Broncos country, your Denver Broncos sit at 10-2, one game behind the Patriots, who have played an extra game. So they're at 11-2. Best record in the NFL. We'll give it to them. We will be 11-2 after this weekend, and we will have the number one seed in the AFC because we control our own destiny. We have tiebreakers over the Patriots. Why are we talking about this? Why am I going live right now? Because I have a huge concern when it comes to the Broncos in the playoffs. We're going to the playoffs. Guys, it's like a 99.8%. Like, it's going to be pretty tough for the Broncos to not get to the playoffs. But it looked like we were really going to do some damage in the playoffs, and I got a little bit worried when J.K. Dobbins went out, and haven't seen any action. We finally see a crack in the armor today. As Mike Kliss reported about 40 minutes ago, the Broncos held tryouts today with 3 players. One of them is Sincere McCormick. It's a running back. Now, it's a name you might not know, but he has some promise. There's a couple issues I have with him, but he does have some promise. Let me start with the issue I have with him. Let me give you a measurement on this guy and see if it sounds familiar to you. McCormick is 5'8", 205. Okay? Remember that number because I'm going to give you RJ Harvey's measurements. 5'8", 205. Jaleel McLaughlin, 5'7", 187. You see where this is going. Tyler Badie, 5'8", 197. So I'm really excited that the Broncos are getting some feelers out there because this team, this Broncos squad, actually has the second best yards per carry average than any Broncos team since I'm not even sure 2018 was the best one. This is the second best one in the last 11 years, including the Super Bowl winning team. We're averaging 4.6 yards a carry. But that was mostly J.K. Dobbins. He was responsible for more than half of our yards rushing. And he was averaging about 5 yards a carry, where everyone else on the team was averaging less than 3. So this is a huge development. This is great news. Not even laying this all on McCormick or because of McCormick, who I think is actually a fine running back. It's just the fact that they're actually looking for somebody, right? This makes me happy. Because we may not see J.K. Dobbins back this season. There's no guarantee he's coming back. And I know there's been talk about J.K. coming back in time for the playoffs or for the AFC Championship game, what have you. That's a big bet to make. Setbacks come and go. Now's the time to bring in a running back to help this team out. Now, would I prefer to see a bigger back? Yeah. I think that's the one thing we're missing. I'm really high on RJ. He leads all rookies, aside from quarterbacks, with 8 touchdowns. I mean, he's a player. But in every down back, he kind of seems, at least at this stage of his career, that he's more of, a change of pace back. But let's talk about McCormick real quick, and then we'll get into the big picture of this. This from our good friend Zach Seegers. Sincere McCormick was the only running back to look halfway decent on the Vegas rushing attack last year. 53.8% rush success rate on 39 carries. He'd like to give him a try. So would I. And I will tell you this. He averaged, I've got his stats here somewhere. He had 5 games played, but he had 39 carries for 183 yards. Guys, that's 4.7 yards per carry. That's a decent sample rate too. We're not talking about a guy who had 10 carries on the league. This guy's got some potential. If he's healthy and he can pick up the game, I keep saying we just need 10, 12 carries out of somebody who knows how to move the sticks on 3rd and 3. Or 1st and 10, he's going to get you 4. What we have right now is less than 3 yards per carry, and but then a guy that could break off a 40 or 50-yard run, which is RJ Harvey, and he catches the ball great. You heard it from coach himself. I believe the quote was, "You ain't seen nothing yet," or there's a saying, man, you haven't seen anything yet. Apparently, he just likes to speak better English than I do, but he's right. We haven't seen it yet, but this is a playoff team who's fighting for the number 1 seed in the AFC. The team needs to be looking for a running back help, and the good news is they are. So even if it's not McCormick, I think we can celebrate the fact that Peyton and Peyton are out there looking around, seeing what's out there, taking a look at this guy, because they know how important it is for our running game to pick it up. Our running game was not very good against the Commanders, and our rushing defense wasn't very good either. But here's what I was talking about earlier. This from Sleeper Broncos. Offensive rookies excluding quarterback leaders and total touchdowns. RJ Harvey has 8 total touchdowns to tie with Ashton Jeanty with 8 total touchdowns. So 2 5'8" guys out there getting it done, which is great. But the Broncos, and when the playoffs start, you got to be able to run the ball. So here's what I was talking about. The current Bronco team ranks 2nd in the last 11 seasons. Okay. Let's see, 24, where's 2015? In 2015, we won the Super Bowl, averaging 4.2 yards per carry. We're averaging 4.6 yards a carry right now. We're not going to be able to maintain that. At least I haven't seen evidence that we can maintain that number with the running backs that we have right now. Now, Tyler Badie's only had like 2 carries, so I'm not really sure what he can do, but we've seen quite a lot from RJ and Jaleel to know that they're kind of what they are right now. Certainly, RJ Harvey is going to figure some things out. I don't think it's a vision problem. I heard some people talking about vision with him. I don't think that's really his issue. I think it's, I think he's still looking for a home run shot, and he's skittering around in the backfield a little bit too much, waiting for everything to open up. He needs to, worry about picking up the 3 or 4 yards that we need him to get to really become more of an every down back. So this is good news, guys. This is what we should want to hear. If you're not thinking we need a running back, let me know in the comments. I would disagree with you, but hey, that's why we're here. That's why we're talking about it. I'm glad to see that they're looking. Markey says the crazy thing is our rushing efficiency went down in the postseason in 2015 compared to the regular. Yeah, it's one of those weird stats, isn't it? But that's a lot of that can be how the games were played. And was it the whole postseason? Wow, that's actually kind of surprising. But that just goes to show you maybe it's not so crazy, because our rushing efficiency is going to get tougher in the playoffs, because presumably we're going to play tougher teams with tougher defenses. So it is going to be tougher. And so if the running backs we have right now on the roster, I get you, Markey. If those guys are struggling with the teams we're playing right now, and we haven't, been playing the biggest teams lately, we're going to run into some tougher games, certainly in the playoffs with better defenses. I would feel better if we get a kind of a bruiser back, maybe somebody bigger than even McCormick's the same size as RJ, but maybe he's just a different running back. We can't judge everybody by their size. He could be a downhill runner for all I know. I haven't seen enough to tell you that, but what I have seen is the guy's averaging 4.7 yards a carry, which is good. Markey comes back in, says he thinks we should always be looking to add to the room, but I also want to feel that our current guys are getting a legit shot. So who's not getting a legit shot? Well, maybe Jaleel and certainly Tyler. RJ is getting a legit shot because he's getting all the carries right now, or the majority of them. So hopefully this is our breakout game for RJ this week. I think I saw Marky saw part of your show, maybe on that very subject. I'm a believer in RJ Harvey. I was a huge fan of the pick. I'm still a huge fan of the player. I've seen great compliments about him and how he's picking up his blocking. His pass pro's gotten better. He's already great out of the backfield and doing all that stuff. So we want to see him grow, and we don't want to take away carries from him. But who's RB2? Who's our bruiser? Don't know yet. You do also see veteran players get cut late in the year should they want to play for a contender. All right, well, that's the dream, and we're already seeing some of that, right? We're seeing guys that are leaving teams. I haven't seen a lot of them go to contenders yet, but I would hope that if there's a good RB2 out there that maybe feels like he's not getting enough attention. This is normally like a wide receiver thing, but a running back who, mutually agrees to part ways with their team. I would love that about right now, Marky, to have a vet who the team lets go so they can make a playoff run with somebody. The Chiefs kind of just did that with, was it Pierce? I'm drawing a blank right now, but I'm sure Mark, you'll tell me what it was. The guy that went to the Chiefs, he kind of would have been maybe a good one to look at. Here's a great question though. Would you bring back Audric if you could? I think that ship sailed for sure. But yeah, I'd bring him back. And it was Damian Pierce. Thank you. Yeah, why not? I mean, he was kind of here and gone pretty quickly. He should have been that big bruiser back. The guy's huge. But word on the street was he didn't see himself in that way. And Sean wanted to use him that way. And so he was odd man out, which, I guess you could see coming a mile away as soon as once JK was here. I think a lot of us did. I mean, you can go back and look. I knew that JK wasn't brought here to be some part-timer. I know what Sean Payton wants in his running back. He wants an RJ Harvey, who is his joker, but he still needs that lead running back. I hope this is a good sign. It looks like it is. It's good news for the Broncos that they're planning on a playoff run, and they should be. Let's go over this real quick, and then I'll let you get out of here. This is a quick show. We'll probably do one tonight too, but AFC picture, right? Patriots at 1, Broncos at 2, Jags at 3, Ravens at 4. Those are all your division leaders. We've got the Jags on our schedule. The wild cards are the Chargers, Colts, and Bills. A lot of these teams are going to end up beating each other up. All the wild cards they're all at 8 and 4, and of course the Texans are on everybody's heels, looking to break their way in. And I believe they have the Chiefs this week. So go Texans there. Chiefs are down at 10. They're basically the Dolphins at this point. Nobody cares about the Chiefs. Let's keep them out of the playoffs. So you can see just in the playoffs here, if the Texans get in, that's a tough defense, right? Chargers could be tough to run against. These are all teams we could come up against. I'm actually not more worried about some of those other teams than I am about the Patriots. I think the Broncos match up really well against the Patriots. I think they could whoop them. I know that I'm not one of the guys that talks about schedules a lot, who you beat and who you didn't beat. I think all games are tough to win in the NFL. 11-2 is impressive. Broncos are 10-2, just as impressive. Okay. So you lose me on the who you beat and who you didn't beat. We'll find out when they play each other what that's all about. But I think the Broncos are going to need a better run game if they want to go deep into the playoffs. And I'm comforted in the fact knowing that our front office and our head coach are out there trying to find a little help for RJ and these guys. I think we need it. And maybe it's McCormick. Could be. We're going to find out. But good news all around. Probably see you guys later tonight. Until next time, though, thanks for Marky for helping me out with the show, man. I couldn't. I hate doing these alone on short notice. You guys are the ones that do all the hard work. David talked about Jeff Wilson, and he is currently on the Dolphins practice squad. Man, this is maybe I'm going to have to do a little research and come back on this tonight. Marky, maybe you'll help me out. Maybe you'll be around this weekend. I know David and I are doing something this weekend, so I'll get a hold of you. Maybe you could help us out. It sounds like you guys have done more research on the running backs that are available. I'm just want to be the cheerleader that we're out there doing something. So let's do it. Let's bring somebody in. I'll feel better. And Broncos, let's win on Sunday. See you on the pregame, see you on the postgame with the guys, and probably see you later tonight. So thanks for watching. We'll talk to you soon.